my loves. It's your girl Queen Lisa, and I'm here today with the reading for you all. Hope you guys are doing well. So, all my new and returning subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome. Grab a seat. If you do like the content that I share with you all today, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're notified each and every time I do upload. And without further ado, we're going to jump into this energy. The overall energy is these people are suffering their own demise. I'm just going to go ahead and say, please forgive me for my voice. Whether has been sounding like this, but I am okay. I'm trying my very best to get this message out. I will not be able to talk too loud. But nonetheless, here we are. These people are trying to break down your divine protection barrier. They're trying to infiltrate you energetically. And they're trying to infiltrate you with this fake ass love. They're trying to tempt you into believing that they love you when you know that they do not. They're trying to come in and steal your very essence. They want to steal your passion in the beginning. They want to steal your friends, your loved ones, those that care about you. They want to taint your image. They want to convince people that they are crazy for believing in you. They're gossiping about you. They're trying to glamour those who see you in the correct way. They're trying to glamour them to turn against you, turn their back on you, to turn against you. This fake ass Queen of Wands is trying to figure out, why are you so protected? Why are you so anointed? Why are you so covered in God's favor? Why does God love you so? Why has God chosen you for this position? Why has God chosen you for this abundance that He has bestowed upon your life? And they think that by them discarding you, them not wanting you, will have you not wanting yourself, having you in a position to where you will discard yourself, turn your back on God, give up on your relationship with God, and choose them. They want you to set aside the abundance that God has set in place for you. They want you to be impatient with God. They don't want you to wait on what God has in store for you. They want you to jump the gun and fall for the illusion like everyone else. And they have a married man trying to entice you, trying to trick you into a relationship, trying to trick you with the oldest trick in the book by saying, I'm going to leave my wife for you. I'm going to give you everything I should have given her. You are the one. And it's just a game they play with people. They're never going to divorce their wife because, again, it's a game they play with people. They choose chosen ones as battery packs, energy sources to fuel their negative, their negativity, period. They like to keep people in constant mental and emotional anguish. That's their name. That's their tool they like to use to keep the cloud of confusion real thick and heavy on whoever they're praying against. They're doing everything in their power to keep you from awakening to their mischievousness, but you are already seeing the light. You've seen the truth. You've seen the colors that they put on the wall. You know what I'm saying? That you've seen the mockery that they made of you. You've seen their game. You feel what I'm saying? You've seen through the illusion, and they're upset. They're upset that they could not conquer you. They could not glamour you. They could not steal from you in the way in which they wanted to. They may have gotten off on you with little things, but the things that matter the most, they weren't able to steal, which is your life, your essence, your destiny, your soul. They may have prolonged certain things. They may have caused mishaps that may have caused certain things to continue to repeat in your life as far as karmic cycles, because it keeps sending that same energy towards you in different people. But you are divinely protected. Your divine protection, your I can't put the words together, but basically your relationship with the Most High, you never losing sight of who is your provider. You never turning your back on God. You never cursing God. You never um, blaming God for what you're going through, but asking for understanding. Asking God. I know it's not good to question, but for some of you guys, asking God why and how and what can be done to end this. And God's telling you to pay attention to what exactly it is that you're going through, and you will find the answers to why it is that you're going through what you're going through. But it is all sorcery, it's all witchcraft. But your essence, your energy, your magic within you will prevail over this wickedness that they're trying to cloak you in. Yeah, see, these people sacrificed a lot to get some type of favor or some type of grace, but it wasn't from God they were getting from. But they thought it was because of the sacrifices that they made to obtain this energy. But it wasn't from the Most High. It was from the entities in which they conjured up to give them the strength and the power to conquer you. But your vision, your steadfastness, you holding on to God's unchanging hand is what led you to the gates to escape the wilderness and enter into the Garden of Eden. Things are going to be able to, things are going to begin to balance out in your life. With every stone that they threw to take you down, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. They're thinking that they're word magic, that they're sending towards you with these smear campaigns and trying to put a bad taste in people's mouth about you, and trying to get people to believe the way they believe and see the way they see you. It's not working. Some of you guys, your connection with the Most High through herbs is what's keeping you protected, what's keeping you open to the Most High. See, they try to demonize herbs, but herbs were actually used in rituals to connect to the spiritual realm. If you use the herbs correctly and not abuse them, they will give you access to the spiritual realm in different ways. See, the war on drugs wasn't just what they presented it to the world to be. The reason why they were so hard on, the reason why the war on drugs even began, I'm sorry to say, can't get my words together, but bear with me. The reason why the war on drugs was so big and so prominent and such a big deal was because of the spiritual connection behind it, because of the realms in which it gave access to. They didn't want the general public having it. So the natural herbs that grow out of the ground that aren't made in a laboratory are all made illegal, but all the lab-made drugs are legal. You can even get a prescription for them and get them filled in a pharmacy like it's nothing. Are the very drugs that block, calcify, and strip you of spiritual access to these realms. So don't get it twisted. It's the abuse of the natural herbs that have you in the wrong dimensions, that have you embodying the wrong energies, that put you in positions to have your temple open to the wrong entities and the wrong energies. So don't abuse them. Use them appropriately. Understand the ritualistic use of these God-given herbs, to understand the appropriate use of them so that you can use them to access the spiritual realm and different realms as well within the spiritual realm. But you guys are getting ready to celebrate These people are celebrating now. They're drinking the Kool-Aid. They thinking that, things are sweet, and they're thinking that, hey, all this is getting ready to go in my favor. God is favoring me. God is finally listening to me, but it isn't the Most High. It's the God that they chose to idolize that is, quote unquote, giving them this temporary celebration, these temporary accomplishments, these temporary victories. And they can't see past that because, again, the abuse of the earth that God put here for us to use to connect to the spiritual realm are being misused and abused. Again, they're connecting to the dark side of the spiritual realm, not the light side. Again, you must have balance in both, but they're only seeing one side of things, and they can't see or comprehend the other side of things because of their abuse of the natural herbs that God gave us. You are tapped into another level to where nature is all over you. Nature is drawn to you. Animals, certain plants, flowers catch your attention. Insects, things of that nature. They surround you each and every day in different ways. But these people are going through an ego death. These statues that have been erected to idolize these false gods are being destroyed as well. These people that claim that they are self-made, that put themselves in positions in which they were not authorized to obtain, were not put there rightfully so, are being dethroned, and their fall is harder than their climb. And you want to blame you for it when they're actually the cause of their own demise. They said, is this person's fault? They triggered me. They made me think these thoughts because they triggered jealous and envy in me. But it is because the lack thereof that they have within themselves that they chose to prey on the people that are packing where they are lacking. And then they use their lacking as a justification for their attacking of God's chosen ones. But your truth prevailed. Your truth caused their karma to return faster to them than which faster it caused their karma to return to them faster than which they were prepared for or expecting. But your loyalty to the Most High reigns forever, and it keeps you outranked spiritually. Excuse me. When it comes to these entities that choose to rise against you and try to cause your demise. See, they're losing their love from the community of people that they rallied up to go against you. All of that is falling. All of that is crumbling. And they want to blame you. You didn't make them do anything. They chose to do what they did. They chose to make irrational decisions. They chose to lead with their emotions instead of their logic. And some is because they had no other choice. They have no knowledge. They have no common sense. They have no guidance. They have no light. So therefore, they went to whatever they attracted, whatever brought them quick results. They were used to fast, quick results. So they stuck to what brought that to them. And it just so happened to be the wrong thing. See, divine feminine, you have an infinite void within you that is filled with celestial knowledge that they try to steal from you. They try to close or fill your void with their nonsense, but they didn't understand the depth of the void. Your void within you, your cosmic void within you can never be filled with all of that nonsense. It's just consumed, transmuted, and used for your greater good. Legacy, yeah, see, they're trying to steal your legacy. They're trying to conjure up with the abuse of the herbs that God provided for us to use appropriately for spiritual guidance and for access to the spiritual realm. They're misusing and abusing it, and that's again another one of their downfalls that they don't want to take accountability for. You have a natural glamour that comes with your energy because it's so powerful, it's so beautiful, it's so strong. And that's just why God gave it to you, because God knew that you would use it in the right way. You would use it to do God's will and not thine own. See, they had certain things within them that if they chose to redirect themselves into the right way, they could have been able to do the same things that they envied slash admired about you, but they just did not want to put in the work because it required responsibility, accountability, and those are things that they did not want to obtain, face, or take on because it will cause for them to have to heal. It would cause for them to have to put in work. It would cause for them to have to believe in God, stand on God's unchanging word. You feel what I'm saying? And that then will make them have to reflect on themselves and their actions and the things that they did that they know were wrong when they committed the treason against you. They don't want to. They want to do the dirt, but don't. They want to do the crime, but don't want to do the time. They want to do the dirt, and they want the ones who they did the dirt against to do the time for their crime, which is nonsense to me. I don't understand that shit. But see, again, you use the earth that God provided for the right thing, and that's why you're able to wield is the power the way that you are because you chose to use it for God's will and not thine own. You did not abuse the herbs. You have the blueprint embedded within your heart. That's why they're trying to steal your heart, break your heart, harden your heart, so you can't go within. They're trying to calcify the very things that God gave you to spread God's word, to spread God's love, to rise the vibration of the collective. They're trying to calcify your gifts. They're trying to stop your gifts. They're trying to stop you from exploring your gifts. They're trying to put you in a box. They're trying to block you in. They're trying to block you from yourself. They're trying to block you from self-discovery. Yeah, see, you're showing gratitude for what God has done for you and all the things that He's going to do for you because, again, your faith. And see, the beat of your drum that you're marching to, they can't get with that tune. It's your the vibration in which you move on is irritating their eardrums. It's irritating the vibration within them. It clashes. So it's like a skipping record or like when someone bumps into the DJ booth and make them need to jump off the record. That's what your energy does to them when they encounter you. And they don't like it. Yeah, see, they're trying to stop you from evolving into this intergalactical being that you are, that you were created as. You're just an intergalactical being having a fleshly experience because there's lessons that your soul needs to learn. And that's another reason why God let certain things play out the way they did because your soul needed to mature in those areas. So therefore in your next lifetime you won't have to encounter these things or clear this karmic debt because you learned your lesson this lifetime. You're being freed from these dark entities. Your light is being shined upon you. And God and people are seeing you as the godly being that you were created to be. And the shadows being cast upon them. And they don't like it. They don't like the light in which they're being seen in, if they're being seen at all. See, you're causing them to have to go back into the shadows. Almost like that cartoon movie called The Guardians, where the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, um, the Sandman, and the Boogeyman were all in. See, the Boogeyman tried to come in and conquer all of the other entities. And at a point in time, he did prevail. He did reign superior over them. But when the other entities gathered amongst themselves and worked as a team to defeat the Boogeyman, he was seen again in his true form, which was very small, very little. He had no influence. He had basically no influence on the children or people. And so he was forced back into his dungeon of doom because no one believed in him again. Just like no one is believing in these people that started this smear campaign and who started this, destruction, so-called destruction of your life. These people that once rallied with them to go against you blindly, because they were believing what was being told by a specific person that was being seen in a particular light. They're all being held accountable for coming into agreement to be your downfall or to cause downfall in your life, whether they had confirmation on the information they were being told or just blindly going with the flow. When they realized that this person was wielding or moving an energy that did not belong to them, that's when everybody went into instant regret. That's when everybody came to this instant realization that, hey, I messed up. I should have never listened to this person because they were bearing, they came in false light. They came in energy that did not belong to them. And they all feel like they were trapped, tricked, bamboozled into following a person that led in false light. And so that's why you see certain people trying to come back around and rectify things and trying to right their wrongs with you because they were blindly led to hate you because of what they were being told about you. See, people nowadays will rather believe a lie than the truth because the lie sounds better. The truth sounds too whimsical, too far-fetched to believe that one person can embody that type of energy. But if people change their mindset and perception when it comes to humanity, it wouldn't be so far-fetched or hard to believe because it will be common knowledge that that is the natural way to live, to be, to carry yourself. We've been coerced and indoctrinated to believe that if you're not showing your dark side first before your light, that you're fake. They want you to lead with darkness and bring out light to deceive. That's the only time you should use your light is to deceive others into believing your darkness. And that's not how life is supposed to be lived. That is wrong. That's why the earth is quaking the way it is quaking, because it is removing all of the impurities. And these people are a part of that. In this future love letter, you're letting yourself know that you forgive, you love yourself, and you're strong, you're beautiful, you're mighty, you're powerful for overcoming this energy. Most would have been taken out by this. Most would have given in. Most would have been overcome. Most would have settled. They wouldn't have fought as hard as you did. And you're showing yourself gratitude, giving yourself grace and mercy for enduring. Yeah, and see, after that's all said and done, and you've closed that chapter, and you sealed up that letter to your future self to read, here comes your divine counterpart, your kingdom spouse. And see, that love is going to align you with your true divine energy, your true divine magic. Your power will return unto you in ways that you've never experienced your own power. See, you didn't get to experience your power to its fullest extent because everyone was dibbling and dabbling and taking a little here, taking a little there, draining here, draining there. So everybody was able to benefit off of your energy but you. But the power is returning unto your hand. You guys' hands carry a lot of power and authority. And that's what these people are trying to take from you, but they can't. This masculine is restoring your light and your joy. But the same mental anguish that they sent your way and caused you to suffer is what they're suffering themselves. They're suffering alone. All of this partying, all this nightlife, all of this congregating, and this in your energy and causing you burden, watching you suffer on purpose is over with. You're no longer drinking from that cup of poison. You're not thirsty for them anymore. You're not thirsty for the love, the attention, the acceptance. The people-pleasing era of your life is over with. It's done. It's through. It's cooked. Finito. These people have been blocked. These people bearing false light have been blocked and removed from your life. And now this coven is bumping heads with each other because you got this new, fresh beginning, this new start. And there's nothing but up and stuck for you. You're going straight to the top. You're a rock star. You're successful. Again, these are people who've known you all your life, your relatives who started working on you as an infant. hmm It's like now that you have forgiven yourself for taking on energy that didn't belong to you and belittling yourself, beating yourself up, being too hard on yourself for things that were not your fault. Now your love is being restored. You may have seen like your light, your energy, your love for yourself, much less others, has dwindled down. You've noticed that your energy isn't as strong, isn't as potent. Your happy moments don't last long. It's like joy, to you, in the song it says joy lasts always, but it's like because of your recent experiences, it's like joy isn't always, it doesn't seem that way. Joy isn't lasting long in your life because of these people's um, devious energy manipulation that's going on behind the scenes. But see, what they were not banking on was your strength. They counted you out too soon. And see, your strength is the main thing that's propelling you forward to begin this new cycle in your life of positivity, of love and light and balance. Yeah, see, you are unapologetically standing in your true authentic energy alone. It's like you want to shine bright like a diamond in your own light by yourself for once in your life. You don't want to share the stage. You don't want to share your light with anyone. You don't want to share your energy with anyone. And you don't have to. You are now going to be placed back in full control of your energy. And it's up to you how you hand it out and who you allow to have access to it. So be careful. Make sure you've learned your lessons so that you won't make the same mistakes again. And then trap yourself into these karmic cycles by allowing these people access to you. You may feel them calling out to you. You may feel them pulling on your energy. You may be tempted to pick up the phone and call them. You may be tempted to go and visit these people. You may be tempted to do a lot of things when it comes to these people because you may be catching yourself missing them, yearning for them. But then when you sit down and think about the feelings that you're feeling and you think about these people, the energy does not match. It's like my thoughts and my memories of these people do not match the way I am feeling about these people right now. That's how you know it's a trick of the devil. That's how you know that these people are illegally tampering and trying to intrude into your energy because they want to, again, tempt you into believing that they have changed. They haven't changed. They just need you. And they're trying to find ways to penetrate you because of your goodness. They're trying to trick you into believing that you can see the same thing in them. It just gives them a chance to show you that they can change and be like you. It's all a facade. It's all a facade. These people are copycats. My bad. This Queen of Swords here is watching you, stalking you, preying on you, trying to see their next move when it comes to you, how they can strike. And they're not going to be able to. They're going to be holding that position for a long time. They may perish holding that position because they will never get another chance to attack you. If they try it again, they out of here. And that's what they don't want to face. They don't want to face the music. They don't want to face the fact that you no longer care. You no longer want to be a part of these people. You no longer want to simply be a part of these people. You are the star. You know who you are, who you belong to. So these people are irrelevant. They're non-relevant factors in your life. You've had mental funerals for these people. You have let these people go. They just won't let you go because you have provided so much in these people's lives that was feeling your energy. It's unimaginable. Some of you guys would never know how much you have impacted these people's lives, why they were plugged into you, and how they live such lavish lives off of your energy. But you're getting ready to experience your own energy all by yourself with no interference, with no drainage, with no siphoning, with no one being plugged into you. And now you're about to see what you're really made of because you're going to have full access to all of your energy, renewed, restored, and you're going to be able to do everything that God put you here to do, because you're, again, letting God order your steps, and you're doing God's will and not thine own. Yeah, see, these people are crashing out. There's a lot of fighting and a lot of chaos amongst these people. Things are getting out of hand. Things are getting out of control. Losing a lot of sleepless nights. Some of you guys may be having heavy night sweats and maybe waking up in the middle of the night, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, catching yourself praying, meditating, getting closer with God, because again, these people are trying to project that energy onto you. They want you to suffer like they're suffering, but it's like you did nothing to have to endure this. You are the victim in this situation. Not to say anybody wants to be in that victim energy, but it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. You are not the person who did anything to anyone. You were simply hated upon, tricked out of, abandoned, left behind, because these people thought they could live your life and do you better than you. You were never fully given a chance to live your life in your true authentic energy, because you were always being siphoned from. You feel what I'm saying? You could never accomplish your goals or do what it was that you were trying to do, because of the entities and energies that were attached to you, that were surviving and thriving and living off of you, whether you were aware or unaware of this. These karmic masculines that you were in relationship with are no more. They're being forced to go back onto that other side and stay over there with the people who like to dwell in that energy. See, you were blessings to everyone who wronged you. You were sent to guide these people to the light. You were sent to guide these people to God's unchanging hand, to God's favor, to God's abundance, to get it on their own, to get it the way God saw fit for them to have it. And if they did, and some of them were not seen worthy enough to have the favor that you have in the way that you have received it, in the way God saw fit for you, because of the karmic ties and curses that were on their life. They didn't want to face that music. They didn't want to hear that song. They didn't want to acknowledge that they were not perfect. They just seen you embodying perfect energy, but not realizing that you were imperfect. They thought that because of the readings that they were getting on you and the information that they were receiving about you, they just felt like not one man or one woman can't have all that power, can't have all that favor, can't have all that grace and mercy and love from God. That needs to be shared. I deserve a piece of that. I don't think this person needs all of that. They just need a little bit. They don't need all of that. Yeah, we need all of that. Give me my God, so get out my energy. You see what I'm saying? Who are you to tell me? Just because God chose you to live your, chose for you to live your life a particular way, it's not your, you don't have the right to go and project that shit onto other people, because if that was meant for them, God would have put it in written in the book of life for them to live their life that way. See, people don't know how to accept their own fate. But instead, they're trying to change the shit. And people stood in their own true authentic energy and accepted their fate, and still chose God, even though God saw that they needed to learn lessons in particular ways that they weren't so much in agreement with. They would have been better off just saying, okay, God, I love you, I serve you, I accept what it is that you sent my way. Because again, everything we go through, everything we suffer in life is not only for us, but it's for generations to come in our bloodline, or for people around us. We're clearing up karmic debt for people around us that are coming back into our lives that previously were kinfolk, blood related to us in other lifetimes, that are coming back to us as not related, not kinfolk people. But again, spiritually, you guys are still connected. Spiritually, you guys are still related. So therefore, you didn't learn the lesson one way in one lifetime, so God's spinning it around again and having you learning it in a different way. Having these people in your life in different ways. You connect to these people differently now to see if you can learn it. Because hey, everybody don't have the same learning style. So when you didn't get it the first time, or when you fail a test the first time, you never get the same test over when you get a revised version of it. So that's what God has given these people, revised versions of past failed tests. they think that they're living their life blissfully because they're being ignorant unto the word of God, unto the way God set us here to have, dominion and authority over the earth. They didn't want to do it God's way, they wanted to do it their way. And so because they are suffering from doing thy own will instead of God's will, we want to blame others for it. Instead of taking the time out to change, instead of taking the time out to go within so they never go without, so they can understand what's really going on and do God's will and not thine own, and come out of this self-made energy and step into this God-made energy. See, people are stuck in this mentality of only wanting to reverence themselves because God is not physically walking beside them. They want to say there is no God. I don't have to reverence anything outside of myself that I can't see. Everything has to be so literal and so logical and has to have an explanation. Everything is not meant to be explained. Everything is not meant to be understood one particular way. God is the God of mystery. So God's going to come to you in mysterious ways and see if you are paying attention to life, period. And see if you're going to be able to see what's God and what's not. The teacher's never going to give you a test with the answers. The test questions are never going to give you the answer within the question. A question is a question for a reason. You have to understand the question and what the question is asking you in order to answer it correctly. So again, you have to then understand why you're going through certain things that you're going through in order to learn the lesson successfully so that you won't have to keep completing karmic cycles where people aren't taking the time to do so. And so they're being punished in accordance to their ignorance, quote unquote, bliss. It also says in the good book that you are responsible for obtaining certain knowledge at certain ages and stages in your life. So therefore, if you choose not to do so, you will be held accountable for your blissful ignorance. And that's exactly what's happening. They're receiving karma for their quote unquote blissful ignorance. They're choosing to be dumb because they feel like that way they can avoid responsibility and accountability, judgment and karma for their ways and their actions because they're going to justify it with ignorance. That only works in physical court, not spiritual court. And it shouldn't work in physical court, but nonetheless, we're not going to jump down that rabbit hole. But with God, with spiritual court and judgment, it's going to work that way every single time. So as long as you keep choosing to do the opposite, God's going to let you continue to suffer your choices. That's why these people are being forced to stay on the other side because they dwelled in that energy so long that it has consumed them and they can't find a way out. So they have been left there. Yeah, see, they are being exposed in the world in which they try to intrude in. They're being seen for who they really are, and they don't like it. They thought the facade was going to last forever. They thought their facade was unbreakable. Furthest thing from the truth. And now they're mad and angry because they're in suffering, and you are being enlightened. You are being favored. You are being blessed. You are being honored. You are being reverenced. You are being respected. You are being seen for who you truly are. Nobody's being coerced, convinced, or confused when it comes to you. They're able to see you in your true authentic energy. And they don't like that. They don't want you to be seen like that. But again, your love is being restored. Your love for humanity is being restored. Your love for yourself, your family, your children, your kids is being restored. I'm getting these people really wanted you to hate yourself. They wanted you to hate everything about life. They wanted you to be broke, busted, and disgusted and miserable while they lived a fake ass life off of the back of you. And they thought you was just going to sit there and let them. Yeah. See, they started this shit with this fake ass love, sending these fake ass love karmic partners towards you with this with these love spells. They thought these love spells were going to prevail, but see, you embodied divine love. So fake love would never overpower divine love. So that's why their actions never prevailed. The love spells never work. They always backfire, and they ended up falling in love with you and mad because they love you and you don't love them. And they felt like, oh, I was tricked, I was bamboozled, I was fooled. No, none of that. You fooled yourself by thinking that you can conquer a divine being, that you could destroy divine love, especially when the individual is walking with the divine on an everyday basis. See, people aren't doing their homework. They just seeing something they want when they're going after it, and they're not doing their research to see if they have the capabilities of even obtaining what they're going for. And 9 times out of 10, they know they don't have it, but they still want to try it anyway because again, it's what's beneficial to them, is what they want, is what they want to do. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Thank you guys so much for your patience. So yeah, they was mad because they couldn't conquer a divine being. Yeah, see, the emperor here. What's going on? See, this emperor, they reverence the divine. They reverence the divine feminine energy as God, as law, as above them. You feel what I'm saying? They see you in the appropriate position, in the appropriate light in which you're supposed to be seen in. But again, they still came in doing wrong because that's the deal they made. That's what they were paid to do. But they ultimately end up seeing you in your true divine form, and they reverence you now. They love you. They respect you, but they can't honor you because they can't honor themselves because their intent, their initial intent behind coming towards you in the first place was wrong. It was evil, malicious. And so by the time they want to clear their heart, clear their conscience, and step into the energy of being righteous with you, deny access because now they have to pay the karma that they accrued by making this deal, taking this money to go against the chosen one. Now they have to sit back and watch you be happy with someone else and live your life with someone else. Yep. That's why they want to come in and destroy this relationship. That's why they're trying to prevent this divine union from happening because again, the enemy, the devil fell in love with an angel. But angels don't dwell in hell. So it would never work because you guys are unevenly yoked. This person may want what they want, but they're not willing to put in the work to get it. Yeah, this King of Cups is going through a rebirth, going through a definite rebirth because they came in to steal your abundance. They came in to steal your essence, your magic, your light, and give to those who are undeserving. This King of Cups was a whoremonger. They had a roster of females, and they were coming and siphoning your energy, stealing your abundance, stealing your emotion, and feeding it to the other karmic feminists who were blinded by love, lust, and money, and materialism. And they seen this person in, again, false light. But they couldn't tell the difference because, again, they were blissfully ignorant in the energy that they chose to embody because, again, these are slum bums that like to dwell in the gutter, that like to dwell in the slums, that like to misuse and abuse the earth that God put here for spiritual connection, spiritual embodiment of certain energies and entities to connect with the spiritual realm. They chose to use those herbs to conjure up the dark side, and now they're stuck. Yeah, see, they was getting a lot off of this because see, this roster of women end up becoming a company of kitchen witches. They end up becoming minions for this masculine. They ended up saying, all right, we're going to put in the dirty work. We're going to go out here and recruit other females to come and join our coven so that you can have more energy to siphon from and have more to pass around. Because these three who are the bottom bitches here were the ones that were being fed the most, the ones that were the most in love with this person, the ones that believed in this fucking fairy tale that this masculine was projecting, believing that this masculine was a leader and not understanding, and not, or believing that this masculine was a leader. He was a leader of a false, of a false narrative, a false image, a lie. He doesn't understand his true authentic energy. And again, that's why he started coming for your friends, your family, people who you were connected to have them spy and watch you and betray you, backstab you for the love of materialistic things, false things, and putting you up in sacrifice. Like, hey, I know this about this person that you don't know, and I know how to steal it from them. Join me, and I'll give you a piece of the pie. And I'm hearing your friends now got your back, your left, right, front, side, up, down, sideways, and crooked. And they would never make a deal with me again. I'm hearing friends to the end. And now you're able to rest because you have real people standing behind you, backing you, being there for you. Mm-hmm. Page of Pentacles. See, that's how you were able to get this fresh new start in your life because your friends really had your back. And they didn't make a deal with these demons that were trying to rise up against you and continue on this buffoonery. You were able to move on peacefully to calm the waters because your friends backed you up, your ancestors backed you up. Everybody was outside about you. Security was fit. They weren't going to get to you. You was going to get to where you was going to go and you was going to get there peacefully. Your friends respect you and honor you and know that every step you take, they can't take with you. Some steps, some things, some journeys in your life you're going to have to go on alone. Because God needs you by yourself. And they are standing there backing you up, protecting you, and saying, nah, he or she is not available. Nah, they ain't taking no calls. You can't leave no message. They is unavailable. You are not able to access this person anymore. Access has been denied. Evolution is in progress, and you cannot intervene. These people are being intercepted left and right by those who love and care for you, and they're sent to protect you. Yeah, justice. Justice is here. Yeah, these people of false light shining so bright people can't see their stupidness, their stupidity. They're being blocked. Yeah, and you're able to manifest peacefully without any intervention, without anyone trying to poison or taint your work. You're not looking at life through your fleshly eyes anymore. You're looking at life through your spiritual eye. And that's how things are becoming greater in your life. Mm-hmm. See, let's see what this is. See, these people who thought they were stealing from you, they was only getting scraps. They weren't even touching the overflow. They was touching the overflow of the overflow. So they was getting the drip, drop, drip, drop. Like they weren't even getting a full drop of your abundance. They was just getting a little, I don't know, drizzle or whatever. Not even a full drizzle, just a, like, you know, you stick your hand in somebody, you got water in you, that's what they was getting. You feel what I'm saying? Like a mist. But now you're in control of your wheel of fortune. And you're keeping it in alignment to work in your favor. You don't have anybody else in control of your will. You are in control of your own will. Your will is not being distorted, manipulated, or anything by anyone else. You and God are in control. of Pentacles here. Yeah, and you got this King of Pentacles here that wants to come in and create this home, happy home with you, wants to offer you a commitment. And they got their own shit, you know what I'm saying? They coming to invest in you. They ain't looking for you to invest in them. They're proud of what they've done. They have accomplished a lot. They bring a lot to the table. Hell, they bring another table to your table. Hell, y'all gonna have to put a leaf in between y'all tables to connect y'all tables together because it's gonna be grand, like a grand hall. You know what I'm saying? How they have 50 seater, them 50-foot long tables and there's 50 chairs. Every damn foot is a damn chair. Yeah, that's what y'all tables gonna look like. You see, let me see. Is you coming in hot or somebody else? Yeah, you are a little bit on the defense because again, you've been burdened so much in the past by everyone you've allowed access to in your life. You like, who sent you? Who sent you? What do you want? Keep your burdens to yourself, bitch, because my money is hidden. I got a tight grip on my abundance. You will not come in here and intervene, double dip at all, ho. What do you want? What do you need? Because this is for longevity that I'm sitting over here building. I'm building a legacy over here. And if you're not coming to put in on that to help me build this legacy, what do you need? Who sent you? How can I help you? And that's the truth. Yep, you finally taking this leap of faith on yourself. You took in time to get your stability together. You remove all those knives out of your back so that you can receive the abundances of out with the old and with the new. Everything you've manifested is coming to fruition in your life. It's like you had to get you together before God could bring you together with your divine counterpart. Yeah, you made your mind up physically, spiritually, emotionally, that you will no longer allow that riffraff in your life anymore. All these second hand, second best, it ain't no second. It's either your first or your last, period. And we ain't last. Yeah, and these people are confused. They keep sending these motherfucking fake ass wannabes your way, pretenders your way. They are in mental anguish because your intuition is blocking in every which way. And again, it's your family. They're mad that you're able to have this passion within and you're fighting for yourself. Your creativity is returning. If you walk away from these people permanently, they're getting the message. Whether it's physically, spiritually, emotionally, they can feel the disconnect. These people are juggling. They don't know what the fuck to do. They don't have any more resources. Everything they got it off the back of you, off of your hard work that you put in. But now, all of that is paying off, and you are going to be the sole recipients of your harvest. And all this Decepticon behavior, that shit is over with. All that damn witchcraft and magic, that shit is over with. Judgment is here for these people. And you will be left alone. Your abundance is protected because it's for you and you alone. That's why you're going to receive it on your own. You're going to be uplifted. You're going to be elevated. You're going to glow up. You're going to blow up before you come into this divine union. Yeah. But you moving along from this fake ass bullshit. You moving along from that shit. You tired. You don't fought a good fight. You putting your wand down. You ready for some rest, for some peace. Because you are forever rejecting these people. They have nothing that you want. Nothing that you want. The only thing that you want to do now is simply take this leap of faith into this. You're ready to jump timelines. You're ready to shift. You're ready to jump dimensions. So therefore you can continue to move forward and flourish in your life. You're tired of repeating these cycles. You're tired of going back and forth with these people. You're tired of this mundane, dumbass cycle. Excuse me, that you keep experiencing with these people. In your mind, you said enough is enough, and that's just what it is. Enough. You're not going through this shit no more. You're not doing this shit no more. It's through. It's over with. Finito. Finished. But my darlings, my loves, these are the messages that I have for you all today. I'm gonna rest my throat for a little bit, eat me a little cup of tea, and I'll be back a little later. Peace.